I've lived through enough winters in Montana to know when something feels wrong. Snow has its own kind of silence, soft, peaceful, but that night, the silence was sharp, almost alive. I was stationed at a remote ranger outpost near Glacier Ridge, 20 miles from the nearest town. The storms had been relentless for days, burying the cabins up to their windows. Radio signals were weak, and roads were long gone under sheets of ice. I wasn't alone, though, or at least I wasn't supposed to be. A biologist named Harper had been sent to study wolf migration patterns, staying in the next cabin, about half a mile through the trees. We kept contact through shortwave radio twice a day, morning and night. Check-ins. On the third night, she didn't answer. At first, I thought maybe her radio batteries had died, but then I saw the light. Through the blizzard, beyond the black trees, a faint orange glow flickered, too low to be a lamp, too steady to be lightning. I grabbed my parka, flashlight, and rifle, and stepped out into the storm. The wind bit through every layer of clothing, snow stinging my eyes as I forced my way toward her cabin. Halfway there, I saw the first footprints. They weren't Harper's, too big, too deep, barefoot. Whoever, or whatever had made them was walking through the snow without boots, without any sense. I followed them, my gut twisting with every step. Her cabin was dark when I arrived. No smoke from the chimney, no lantern glow. I knocked once. The door creaked open on its own. Inside, the air was colder than outside. The fireplace was out. The radio smashed on the floor. Papers covered in frost fluttered weakly across the desk. Then I saw the wall, deep scratches gouged into the wood, as if something had raked across it again and again. And on the window, drawn in fog and ice, was a single handprint, long, thin fingers splayed wide. I called her name, but only the wind answered. I found her parka and boots near the cot. She hadn't just left. She'd been taken. My flashlight flickered as I turned toward the door. That's when I heard it, a slow, dragging sound outside, like something heavy moving across the snow. I pressed to the wall, holding my breath. Then came the knock. 3 slow thuds against the door. When I pulled it open, no one was there, just the storm, howling and endless. But out in the white blur, I saw a shape. Tall, gaunt, moving with a strange, jerking motion, like a marionette pulled by invisible strings. I could only make out its pale face for a moment before the wind swallowed it again. I ran back to my cabin, slammed the door, and barricaded it with everything I could find. The storm raged through the night, and I sat with the rifle in my hands, waiting for the knock to come again. At dawn, I forced myself out to search. The footprints were everywhere now, circling both cabins, pressed deep into the snow as if the thing had walked around me all night. Harper's trail led into the trees, vanishing into a narrow gorge behind the ridge. I followed it until I found the entrance to an old mine shaft, half buried by snow. Her flashlight lay near the mouth, still on, its beam pointing into darkness. I should have turned back, but I went in. The tunnel walls were coated with frost so thick it looked like glass. My breath fogged the air as I descended, every sound swallowed by the earth. Then I heard the crying, soft, broken, owing from deeper inside. Harper. I called her name, and the crying stopped. Silence again. Then slow footsteps coming closer, crunching on ice. My light caught a glimpse of movement, a hand gripping the wall. Only, it wasn't skin anymore, it looked translucent, veins black and frozen beneath the surface. A face appeared next, hollow eyes glowing faintly blue, lips cracked and split like melting ice. "Help me," it whispered. But the voice wasn't human anymore, it was layered, distorted, like the wind itself was speaking through her. I stumbled back, slipped on the frozen ground, and fired my rifle. The blast echoed down the shaft, and when I looked again, she was gone. Only the whisper of the wind remained. By the time I made it back to the surface, the storm had died. The sky was pale, and the sun barely touched the frozen ridge. I looked back once the mineshaft entrance was gone, sealed under fresh snow, as if it had never been there. They sent a rescue team a week later. They never found Harper. They said she must have gotten lost in the blizzard, frozen out there somewhere. But every winter since, when the first snow falls over Glacier Ridge, I hear that same knock at my door, 3 slow thuds. And when I look out into the white, There's always a faint light flickering between the trees, just waiting for me to follow.